Hello everyone, and welcome back to another reading. This one is called The Sorting Hat's Love by Harry Pulp. I don't know. Let's see what else they've written, or this could always be a re-upload. I don't really know. I guess we'll find out. So let's see. They wrote Star Wars, the Fornication Awakens, which is already bad. Let's see. We've got Harry's Ridiculous Adventure. Okay, this story is a sick, depraved, disturbing humor story. That already sounds awful. Let's see. The Yule Balls, 50 Shades of Yellow. Oh god, is that P? It meets Mr. What? What happens when Anastasia Steele meets Mr. Banana? What the fuck is a Mr. Banana? How are you, Tony? I'm very good. Sincerely, Otaku. Thank you for asking. Hello, Claricat. Hello, Capra. You're the first three lads in. It's been a while since I've stayed. These are all terrible sounding. Orgy at Hogwarts a New Year. You know, I'm not gonna lie. This is of course a request. All of my fan fiction readings are requested by people. Why the fuck did you request The Sorting Hat's Love? Because these all sound way better, except for maybe 50 Shades of Yellow, because, well, actually, that has Mr. Banana in it, so they put a question. They don't even know if it has Mr. Banana in it, you know? It's been a while since I've watched a stream. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad all of you guys are here. You know, let's have a good time. This is my first Corrupted Gaming Show live stream. Well, I hope you have a good time. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Dumbledore regally strode across the library, carrying something in the crook of his arm. He gently leaned over Hermione, who was studying alone at a table. "Hermione, I'm taking the sorting hat out while I dust my quarters. You wouldn't mind watching him for a bit, would you?" "Of course not, Dumbledore," Hermione said, smiling. She was pleased Dumbledore needed her help, even for such a mundane task. It's watching a talking hat. You could have just... The hat can't move, right? You know, okay, so... because you're not my real dad, Tony. You know, here's the deal. Like, I don't know shit about Harry Potter. You know, you guys have made me read a couple Harry Potter-related things. You should know I don't know shit about Harry Potter, but... Like, does the hat move? Can it move around? Or not? Is that just a thing? Probably can't. But, man, look at you guys just popping into the stream. Let's see here. Hermione returned to her studies... no. Dumbledore plopped the hat down on a table near Hermione, patted her on the head, and once again regally walked away. Hermione returned to her studying with a gruff, sing-song voice chimed in. What you doing, Dragonfire? Excuse me? Hermione looked around the room curiously. The sorting hat hopped from his table and landed in front of her. Okay, so he can move. His voice took on a deep baritone as he began to sing. It reminded Hermione of her mom's Muggle 70s records. God, I have to sing in a deep baritone. Okay, let's see. By the way, the hat can only talk, he can't move on his own. Well, there you go. Thank you for answering my question. This is already bullshit. Good to know, because the hat just jumped from, like, one spot to another, which is just awful. It's just, like, it's just a hat, you know? You're streaming now. Tony, I have a date. What the fuck? I know. You have a date with me. Right now. We're on a date. Everyone else is kind of being a third wheel right now, but like times 14. You know, me and Ale are having a date right now, and you guys are all ruining it. I'm not gonna lie. Oh god, I don't want to sing. I'm only putting it off. What voice should I do? Alright. You're as hot as dragon's fire, filling me with desire. You're Jesus Christ, the song takes a... Alright. Your small tits and big ass make my wand grow into a staff. You know, sass would have rhymed better with ass, but... Say you want me to. We don't have to make love. Just screw. Hermione's mouth dropped open. What? She stumbled. The sorting hat leaned closer. I never forgot how good it felt to sit on your head. Your first year, Hermione. I've wanted you ever since. Pro tip, if you ever want a girl to fall in love with you, sing songs about their tits and ass. You know, that'll really get them. That'll really get their motors revving. You know, that's what's gonna happen. This is gonna be horrible. This is the second time I've third wheeled someone, you know? You guys are really just ruining everything. Are you saying this isn't canon? Oh my lord. I'm saying that this is all non-canon, but I wish it was canon. Oh, let's see. Hermione awoke from her shocked state. What are you talking about? This is crazy. You can't even shag anyone. You're a hat. The Sorting Hat came face to face with Hermione. His stitched eyes bored into hers. Don't knock it till you've tried it. I can do things to you no wizard your age can imagine. That's disgusting. You're disgusting, Hermione admonished. I'm going to tell Dumbledore. You want to see where my penis is? The Sorting Hat offered. What? Hermione looked over the Sorting Hat doubtfully. She couldn't help but be a little curious, yet repulsed at the same time. Alright, never mind. I know I said that the other ones sound better, but honestly, this one's starting to rev up. And this is pretty fucking good. Oh, this is horrible. The Sorting Hat sat on the table, his face contorted in concentration. Jesus. I wish I had a Goku clip on standby for this. He began to oh Jesus. Began to sink down like an accordion. What are you doing? Stop it, Hermione demanded. Suddenly, the Sorting Hat flipped inside out. On the now reversed point on the head dangled a giant penis. His eyes and mouth transformed fully through the fabric. Ta-da! The Sorting Hat exclaimed proudly. Hermione stared in shock at the wobbling hat penis. Wait, that would mean every first year who puts you on would feel your penis on top of their head. Don't flatter me that much, Hermione, the hat cooed. I'm not quite that big, but sometimes if I scrunch down on someone with a particularly rounded head, I get a little tickle of contact. My semen is actually really good conditioner for witches and wizards' hair. So sometimes I squirt a little surprise for them when I get a chance. Wow. I don't see what there is to complain about, but stupid Dumbledore always keeps an eye on me and it's hard to get away with. The hat finished grumpily. Wow. That's actually amazing. This is fucking fantastic. This is my favorite hentai. Jesus. Tony reads hentai for the plot. Yeah, dude, I read hentai entirely for the plot. Man, I watched the shittiest hentai the other day. I wish, I can never remember the name of it, but one of my roommates in the cabin, his partner came over, and they walked into the cabin and immediately came over to my room and said, Tony, let's watch some big anime titties. And I was like, alright, we'll put on Monster Musume. And they're like, nah, I want porn titties. And I was like, alright, we'll watch a hentai then. So we watched a hentai and it was fucking trash. And I had to explain to everyone there, oh, please describe it. Let me see if I could remember it. Because this was a few weeks ago. Maybe a little less than that, but my memory is so awful since I am at college, yes. I'm at college, which is why the internet's shitty and streaming is tough, but God, what even happened in it? It was very generic. It was your average Japanese boy, and the girl was... Oh no, now I remember. It wasn't your average boy. I mean, it was your average boy, but the girl was his sister, but it was his stepsister, so I guess that makes it okay, except it kind of doesn't. And basically he was just in his room playing computer games, I think, or reading a book, or doing something fucking generic, and she walks in, and she just goes, I know that you've been watching me when I change. I know that you jerk your dick to me all the time. And he's like, no. And she's like, I know you fucking do it. And he's like, please don't tell Mom. And she's like, well, I'm not going to tell Mom if you fuck me right here in the asshole. And then he does. Which is basically the most generic hentai there is. There's no plot to that. There's no redeeming story in there. So then they fucked, and it was not very interesting. It was pretty boring. Same DNA is only a moral barrier. Jesus. I'm speechless. Hermione's mind, for the second time she could remember, felt blank. Do you want to touch it? The Sorting Hat tipped his penis towards her, indicating, "Tip to m'lady." She did want to touch it, since it was a strange colored penis that looked incredibly soft, like the rest of his ragged, velvet body. But that would be ridiculous. She averted her eyes. "Look, just turn yourself right side up." The Sorting Hat caught her hesitation and moved in for the kill. "Look, no one is here but me and you." Oh, Jesus, disgusting. "I won't tell anyone. My penis is as soft as butter and tastes like popcorn." Okay, alright. Alright, here's the deal, guys. Here's the fucking deal. I don't know if you've ever accidentally got shampoo or conditioner in your mouth, but I can assure you that his fucking dick does not taste like popcorn and butter. Because if his semen comes out as fucking conditioner, it's gonna taste like disgusting ass conditioner, which if you get in your mouth is fucking terrible. It's awful. Like, comment, and subscribe to my asshole. Like, comment, and subscribe for an asshole reveal video. Jesus Christ. Hermione was trying to analyze whether the last statement meant something positive or negative when the hat bounded forward and locked her in a kiss. What? She froze and said... Okay, so here's the deal. Alright, here's the deal. Is the hat... The hat just has a dong just on the top of his head. I just... to visualize it, I'm having trouble, and it's just so dumb. This is awful. Conditioner tastes better than shampoo. I wouldn't know. I don't use conditioner. I've never once used conditioner in... Well, that's not true. I've used conditioner twice in my entire lifetime, and I hated it. It was not good for my hair. I usually just use shampoo and conditioner mixed together, which I've been told is bad for your hair, but my hair is pretty good, so I don't know. Maybe I'm one of the few people where it's, you know, better. Who has this kink, though? Haha, Harry Pulp, the author. That's who. This is bad. Oh boy. She froze in surprise and a bit of horror as the Sorting Hat's mouth moved open and closed over her tongue, causing her to spit pieces of lint. "What are you doing?" she spat. "I know you want me, Hermione." She has given every indication that she doesn't. The hat said huskily, and he jumped up in the air. Hermione watched him startled, almost in slow-mo, her mouth open. The hat's penis landed perfectly as planned in her widened mouth and began bobbing up and down. Hermione was almost too weirded out to take stock of the situation. She felt frozen in time, watching the hat's eyes squinting intensely. Before she had time to react, the hat groaned and a blob of gooey cum dripped down her throat. It's disgusting. Oh man, which Harry Potter movie did this happen in, guys? Because I've never actually seen all the Harry Potter movies. I'm not a fan of Harry Potter, as I've said many times before. What was this? Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban? That's a movie, right? And the Sorcerer's Azkaban. You know, I wonder if I could name all the Harry Potter movies off the top. I don't actually know. I know that there's Sorcerer's Stone, Prisoner of Azkaban, is that one with the Phoenix Cup? Something of the Phoenix? That's a thing, right? Chamber of Secrets. I'm not gonna look at the chat because in case you guys are writing down names, I don't want to, I don't want to cheat. There's the one with, fuck. There's the last two. What were they called? Harry Potter and the Meanie Bobini with no nosy wosy. That was the name of the movie. Order of the Phoenix. All right, I was close. Order of the Phallus. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Yeah. No, I don't know jack shit about him. Harry Potter and the shill known as J.K. Rowling. That's funny. All right, this is amazing. The hat jumped off and Hermione gagged. "How dare you!" she screamed at the hat and looked dreamy-eyed and content. At the hat that looked dreamy-eyed and content. Okay, that sentence became more clear when I read it correctly. You know, this is a fan fiction where the Sorting Hat rapes Hermione with his ginormous hat dong. That's just awful. "You know you liked it," the hat said confidently. Hermione made a sound of fury and stormed from the room. The next day, Hermione sat in the Great Hall, picking at her breakfast. "What's wrong with you, Hermione?" Ron asked. "Nothing I want to talk about," Hermione said grumpily. Ron and Harry looked at her with concerned glances. the rest of the meal. Dinner was almost over when the door to the Great Hall opened. Dumbledore rose from his chair. The Sorting Hat bounded down the center of the hall. Hermione's stomach dropped. So Dumbledore is also in there. In his chair, I guess. Is everybody in the hall right now? Probably. Hermione's stomach dropped. The Sorting Hat reached the podium. He cleared his throat, and his voice boomed out loud enough for everyone to hear. Oh, God. Hermione Granger, please don't be a stranger. You're making me sob since you ran away. After you gave me that blowjob, please say you'll stay and make sweet love until I spray. McGonagall's eyes rolled to the back of her head, and she fainted. Hermione was furious. The room was in quiet shock until Malfoy spoke up. Are you that desperate that you have to blow a hat? The rest of the Slytherin table broke out in laughter. Alright, I don't know. Okay, that I can do. I can name all the houses. There's Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, Slytherin, and Gryffindor. And I don't know, the specifics, but given that this kid just delivered the sickest burn of 2018, I'm gonna say that the Slytherin table is pretty lit. Hello, fellas. I catch a stream. You sure are, and I'm glad you do. Does Tony still do the ASMR thing? Nobody ever asked me to do the ASMR thing anymore, but I guess I could. I guess I could talk with, really close to the microphone if I'm the Sorting Hat. Man, let's see here. When does the hat talk again? I should have sung into the mic. That's what I should have done. Hermione jumped from her chair. She walked over to the hat and slapped it across the face, where it fell sideways on the ground. She then ran out of the room. She turned me down for a bloody hat, Ron said jealously. Harry was too stunned to speak or respond to Ron's idiotic comment. I mean, that's not too idiotic. It's a little rude. Let's see. Rain began to fall over Hogwarts. The Sorting Hat stood atop one of the towers, looking down. Why are you so angry, Hermione? The Hat thought to himself. Why won't you give me a chance? Probably because you're a fucking hat. The Hat was having his first feelings for someone other than himself, and he didn't like it one bit. He looked down at the ground far below him. He hopped up on one of the tower's railings. See, this one I can't read really close up, but I'll do it because it's going to ruin the moment.
Goodbye, cruel world.
The Hat intoned before he jumped from the edge of the tower. He closed his eyes, awaiting the end. A wind picked up, and the Hat spiraled, floating downward until he landed on the ground relatively unharmed.
Oh shit, that's right. I'm a hat.
Later. Do you want to talk about it, Hermione? Harry asked through the closed bathroom door. No, I don't. I've been humiliated enough. Look, I won't judge you, Hermione. You know me better than that, Harry pleaded. That disgusting Hat, he just started kissing me and then jumped in my open mouth before he knew before I knew what was happening. He finished. Alright, I'm not gonna lie. This sounds really similar. This sounds really similar to that one South Park episode where Cartman, okay, so if you guys don't know the plot, let me explain it to you. Basically, this kid puts his mouth on another kid's dick and then takes a picture of it, and then he says that kid's gay because another guy blew him. And everyone else is like, nah, you're gay because you gave him the blowjob. You're the gay one here, right? So he tries to tell a story about how it didn't happen, and he goes, Mom, I was having a sleepover with my friend, and we were really hot, so I said he could take off his pajama bottoms, so he took off his pajama bottoms, and then I tripped on my Lego car and fell, and my mouth was open because I was yawning, and I fell onto his penis, and and then I thought of something really funny, so I did like a thumbs up, and my camera went off, and it's literally that. That's what's happening right now. It's Cartman and Butters. Yeah, it's Cartman and Butters. This is literally what's happening right now. It's fucking... I'm not gonna lie and say that the Hat didn't just rape her. But also when she tells the story, it sounds exactly like that. Why didn't she just close her fucking mouth? Like, when the Hat jumped up. It's a hat. It's not like it has very much strength in its appendage. I don't know if you should call the hat part an appendage. It's made of fucking velvet is what I'm getting at, Like... There's no way the Hat could have forced the dick into her mouth. Her mouth was open. She should have closed her fucking mouth. But also, the Hat probably shouldn't have stuck his fucking dick in there. Also, he can't seem to get that he fucking raped her. so that's maybe why she doesn't like him. That sounds horrible. Harry felt terrible, but was also trying not to giggle. It's honestly really funny. The Sorting Hat has a penis? Yes, I do, came a voice from down below. Harry looked down at the Sorting Hat. What are you doing here? Haven't you caused enough trouble? Look, just let me talk to the girl. I'll sort this all out. Alright, that was pretty funny. There needs to be more sorting jokes here. Go away, Hermione yelled through the door. The Sorting Hat used his considerable powers to open the door and easily undid Hermione's wards. He slammed the door behind him and hopped over to the bed where Hermione was sitting. What are you doing in here? Is there no way to be rid of you? Look, Hermione, the Sorting Hat said reasonably. I know I'm a little crass sometimes, but give me one more chance. Give me another opportunity to rape you, please. Hermione eyed the hat suspiciously. No! Are you crazy? You humiliated me in front of everyone. I would think telling everyone you gave blowjobs would improve your reputation, the hat finished sagely. Get out of here, you insufferable, horrid, raggedy hat, Hermione sputtered furiously. Hermione, be reasonable. I only raped you. All I ask is you give me one more chance. Give me one night to plow your sweetness, and you'll see I'm not such a bad guy. Oh my god. Listen. This is fantastic. Why didn't she just bite the dick? That's also a question, because it's not like he even admitted his dick isn't that ginormous. Like, it's not like it was so big that it filled her entire mouth, like that she couldn't close her jaw. She could have just bit the dick, you know? She could have, but she didn't. Oh my lord. What? Okay, I'll give the author of this props for one thing. Normally when I read smut like this on my channel, it normally leads directly into the smut and there's nothing vaguely realistic happening. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're reading a story about a hat that has a dick, but, you know, all realism is kind of thrown out the window. But legitimately, Hermione's reactions are pretty good right now, you know? She's going, you know, no, I don't want to have sex with you, you're a dick, you're being an asshole. You know, legitimately, all of the things she's saying are completely true. The hat is the one being ridiculous here. Hermione screamed in frustration as she kicked the hat across the room. The hat unfolded itself from the wall. I didn't want to have to do this, Hermione, but you've given me no choice. Oh, God. The Sorting Hat's eyes began to glow as he chanted. Hermione's face changed into a blank mask. When the chanting stopped, the hat hopped over to her. He scrunched down and flipped over, exposing his penis. That's right, Hermione, the hat cooed. Give us a ride. Hermione undressed and laid down. Oh god, this gets worse. The Sorting Hat moved to her pussy and began trying to give oral.
His cotton mouth opened and closed over her opening. He bit down over her clit and began chomping away.
That's fucking disgusting. Yes, Hermione groaned in her drug-like state. Take me now, Hermione, the hat groaned. Hermione gripped the cotton and polyester hat and guided his penis in her pussy. The Sorting Hat's sounds of pleasure were muffled since Hermione's hand was over his mouth. Hermione gently rode the Sorting Hat, making his penis slick and wet. She increased her pace, and less than a minute later, the Sorting Hat began to feel close to coming. You happy? You happy with this? Tony, can I recommend a hentai for you and your buddies for the next time you want anime titties? Sure, bud. Recommend me a hentai right now. You know, are you happy with yourself? Are you happy with yourself right now, Dingo? Are you having a good time? Are you reading porn, Tony? You bet your ass I'm reading porn right now. You know? Someone looked... Tony, I'm never happy. You know that. That would explain why you consistently get me to read pornography. If it's not Euphoria, it's a bad hentai. Let me tell you, if it's not Okudoku Dan Delivery, it's not for me. Mankitsu happening. Alright, let me Google search this hentai you've just recommended me. You even sent it with a heart emoji. So, it must be good. Let's see here. Mankitsu happening on hentaigasm.stream. No, I don't want to stream it. Oh. Ooh, that has that's some big titties. Is that an elf? No, her hair is just pointy and it looks like her ears. Oh, it's subbed. I only watch dubbed hentai, thank you. Can you guys believe there's fucking dubbed hentai? Like, of all things, there's fucking dubbed hentai. You ever watch dubbed hentai? It's not good. It's bad. It's, like, horrible. Is this, like, date rape or something? Yes. Yes, this hat is fucking date raping Hermione. It's horrible, honestly. Oh, Jesus. Blah. The Sorting Hat moaned in pleasure. He pumped Hermione full of hot semen and collapsed, falling deep asleep. You know, normally when I read these, they always kind of embellish the sex part, like that goes on for way too long, but honestly, these are too short, you know? It's like he jumps on her and comes, that's it. Everyone began to notice a change in Hermione's behavior. She was quiet and distant, and had a faraway look in her eyes. She stopped hanging out with Ron and Harry, and disappeared after her classes. "Something is wrong with Hermione," Ron told Harry, concern on his face. "Ever since that day the Sorting Hat told everyone she gave him head in the Great Hall." Harry shook his head sadly. "Do you think she's embarrassed? Is that why she's acting weird?" Ron questioned his brain, hurting from concentration because he's a fucking moron. "There's more to it than that, mate. I say we get the invisibility cloak and follow her." Alright. I know, listen, I know I'm late on this one. I know it's probably a shitty joke. You know, it's an old meme. But don't give a... You can't fucking give teenage boys an invisibility cloak in a co-ed school. If you give boys an invisibility cloak in a co-ed school, you know what they're gonna use it for. You know what they're doing. It's, you know, she's preggers, I bet, you know? Some of my favorite anime don't get dubs, but hentai gets a dub. That's okay. Sometimes your favorite anime can get a dub, and then it's bad, you know? A lot of dubs are bad. But then a lot of dubs are good. Like Hellsing. Hellsing's dub is better than the sub, if you ask me. Personally, I think Dragon Ball is better in English than it is in Japanese. At least Dragon Ball Z afterwards. The original Dragon Ball is fine. But later that day, Harry and Ron hid underneath the cloak and silently followed Hermione after she left class. She returned to her dormitory where Harry and Ron managed to slip unnoticed through the door before it closed. They were met with quite a shock. The Sorting Hat was lounging on Hermione's bed, smoking a pipe and wearing red hat-sized pajamas. His penis dangled above the tip of the hat. Ron and Harry tried not to vomit as, within moments, Hermione laid the hat down on the bed and began riding it, her eyes blank as her moans permeated the room. Harry and Ron rushed from the room, not caring if the door mysteriously swung open. Ron could barely keep up with Harry as he rounded 2 hallways before stopping and slid to the floor. Horror was etched in his face. Ron was trying not to vomit. "Hermione is sleeping with the Sorting Hat," Ron asked in disbelief. "No, she hates that hat. She'd never do anything like this. Something must be wrong. Her eyes look blank and lifeless. She must be under an imperious curse, or something," Harry said sadly. "What do we do?" Ron asked tearfully. "We have to tell Dumbledore." Yes, I know all about the Sorting Hat's control over Hermione." Dumbledore chomped on jelly beans as he spoke, some spilling from his mouth and getting stuck in his beard. You do?" Ron's mouth gaped open. "Of course, that has been getting harder and harder to manage." Dumbledore paused. Isn't Dumbledore like the fucking greatest wizard in the world or some shit? Like, he's a really fucking good wizard, right? He can't take on a hat, like, he can't manage a fucking hat. His eyes took on a serious glint as he leaned forward.
"I'm going to tell you boys a secret. The Sorting Hat..."
Dumbledore? Harry asked. "Blimey, he's fallen asleep," Ron said, surprised. Dumbledore! Harry shook the old headmaster. What?" Dumbledore snapped. "The Sorting Hat, remember?" "Oh, yes, Dumbledore snapped impatiently. "Let me tell you boys a secret." He leaned in once more.
"The Sorting Hat isn't what he appears to be. He was once a wizard, but a curse turned him into a hat. And so he has remained for the last 2,000 years.
2,000 years, Harry said, shocked. Yes, Harry, you may remember him from stories long ago. This is why I cannot hope to challenge him on the matter of your friend. He was once known as Merlin. Are you fucking shit? Is that actually canon? Is that... No, is that actually a thing in Harry Potter? Is the Sorting Hat legit Merlin right now, or is this... I don't know. Even still, you know, someone just said Dumbledore's like a fucking god of wizards. Like, can he not beat Merlin? I don't understand. You know, Sorting Hat. I don't know. I don't believe that Dumbledore couldn't fight him. You know, Dumbledore's apparently like an amazing wizard. Even I know that. What? You've got to be kidding me, Ron interjected. His magic is old and ancient. Were I to intervene on Hermione's behalf, he could destroy me and the entire school with the murmur of a word. Well, that isn't it. That then isn't it, Ron said hopelessly. Ron, I can't believe you. There has to be a way, Headmaster. Isn't there anything we can do? Harry pleaded. Ron interrupted. Wait, does that mean Merlin is a dirty old git? Nah, Ron, he just rapes little girls because he's a nice guy. There may be a way, Dumbledore spoke gravely. If Hermione was given great sexual pleasure from someone other than the Hat, his control over her might be lifted. Well, I'll volunteer for that, chirped Ron. Dumbledore eyed him with disdain. I've heard of your reputation as a lover, Mr. Weasley. No, that won't do. It has to be someone more skillful. Oh, is it gonna be Dumbledore? It's gonna be Dumbledore. What about you, Dumbledore? Harry asked. They say the older you are, the more experienced you have in these matters. Well, my dear boy, I do have an insatiable appetite. Ron groaned inwardly at this confession. However, Dumbledore continued, I'm afraid it has to be someone with more stamina. Knock on the door. Oh no! There was a knock on the door. Hey, it's me, Goku. Perfect timing. Enter, Dumbledore commanded. Professor Snape strode into the room. You wanted to see me, Dumbledore? He spoke coolly. You can't be serious. Harry nearly jumped from his chair. Oh, but I am. This is the only way to save Hermione. I am familiar with Snape's love-making skills and can vouch for him. Dude, this is top tier. This is honestly fucking Snape. I was hoping for Dumbledore, but honestly, I'll take Snape. What a twist. Ugh. This is great. What even? How does someone come up with this bullshit? I don't even know. Harry felt his lunch coming up again, and he tried to keep it down. Headmaster, there has to be another way. I'm afraid not, Harry, Dumbledore spoke calmly. Snape may be the only one who can break through the Hat's spell. He can fuck better than Merlin, that's his ability. My sexual skills are more than adequate for any witch or wizard, Snape said confidently. Very good, Snape, Dumbledore said. I'll brief you on the situation. Meanwhile, Harry, Ron, I'll need you to distract the Hat while Snape pleasures her. Won't he just cast the spell again? Ron asked curiously. We need to distract the Hat with a willing partner, one whom he doesn't need magic to control. He will eventually give up on Hermione and will at some point grow tired of his new love interest. This is usually how things go with him. Afterward, I will try to keep the Hat in my cupboard where he belongs. It is the best I can do. Ron wondered aloud, but who are we going to get to have sex with a Hat? Harry sat for a moment deep in thought. What about Ginny? Or is it Ginny? I'm gonna say Ginny. She's done almost everyone in the school. I mean, I don't think she'd mind. That's my sister you're talking about, Ron stood up angrily. Ginny seems like the best choice, Dumbledore said cheerfully, nonplussed by Ron's reaction. I'll talk to the girl. You two set up a meeting between them. The Hat may act stupid, but he's smarter than he seems. You'll need to be subtle in your actions. While he is distracted, Snape will bed Hermione. Damn, this is some deep story and lore right now. This is fantastic. Willy-nilly partner. They call him Chilly Willy. This is horrible. Man, who do you guys ship? Do you ship Hat with Ginny, or do you ship Snape with Hermione more? Honestly, I'm more of a Snermione man myself. Because I just feel like Snape is just too good of a lover to pass up. You can count on us, Dumbledore, Harry sighed. It seemed, after all, to be the only way. Ron's face was red with anger as he stormed out with Harry behind him. Later, hey, Sorting Hat, Ron yelled at the Hat who was lounging in Hermione's dorm. Hermione was still in class. The Hat eyed Ron suspiciously. What do you want, Weasley? This girl has a crush on you, and she's kind of shy, so, well, she told me and Harry to come and ask you to meet with her. What girl? The Hat snapped. Harry stepped forward. She doesn't want us to tell you, but you'll like her. She's got more experienced than Hermione, that's for sure. Ron glared at Harry. The hat eyed the two boys. All right, I'll go with you, but if you two are up to something, you'll regret it. The hat bounced out of the room, following Harry and Ron until he reached the library. There, in a quiet corner, sat Ginny. There she is, mate. Harry patted the hat in camaraderie. She's not that hot, the hat grumbled. Is that true? All right, let's see if that's true. Ginny Weasley. Is she attractive? Does she become attractive later? What part of the book is this? Is this when she's like 7? Or is this when she's like presumably older than 7? Harry just called Ginny a slut. Is that not what he does in canon? You know, she's not unattractive. She's attractive. You know, she's got a face with hair. That's enough, right? Hagrid X Ginny. Oof. Hagrid X me. Snape X me, honestly, is the one true ship. Tony, stop. Man, I love ruining Harry Potter for people who love Harry Potter. It's just such a good time. Let's see here. She makes up for it in other ways, Harry assured him. Harry and Ron watched Ginny and the hat chatting. She reached underneath the hat's rim and grabbed his penis. The hat smiled. The first part of their plans seemed to be going well. Hermione returned to her dormitory. She wondered why the hat was not there. She started looking under the bed when a voice from behind startled her. Hermione, Snape purred. Professor Snape! What are you doing here? You've been put under a spell, Hermione. I've come to break you free from it. Hermione seemed confused. Thinking seemed like such a hard thing to do lately. What do you mean? I've come to share my love-making skills with you. I'm afraid it's the only way to free you. The hat has placed you under a spell. Hermione backed away. What? No, it's not true. No, stay away from me. Snape knew part of the curse was making her act irrationally. McGonagall already fluffed me up. Oh no. McGonagall already fluffed me up, so I'm ready to go. Oh, jeez. McGonagall is the old lady, right? Right? Oh, jeez. No, I don't want McDonald's. I want McGonagall. Oh, Jesus. Why would someone do this? McGoggles, please. So I'm ready to go. Snape dropped his pants, exposing his huge 11-inch penis. Hermione stared at it in surprise. Alright. Real talk. Real talk. 11 inches is too much. That is too much for a dick. Like, I'm not a girl. I'm also not a guy who wants a dick in my butthole. But here's what I'll say. There is no fucking way that she's gonna survive a fucking 11-incher. That's too much dick. I know people... There are people here that I know have taken at max 10 inches, and even then, that fucking hurt. There was this girl, a friend of mine, and she met a guy on Tinder, right? This was like a few years ago. And the dude's dick was 10 inches, and it was so big she couldn't fit it in her mouth. So she didn't even attempt to fit it anywhere else. Because it would have hurt too much, so she just had to, like, kind of give him half a blowjob, handjob, and then leave. That is too much. Oh, jeez. Severus cast a spell, removing Hermione's clothes. He gently pushed her down on the bed. Lay down, Hermione. You'll soon feel the pleasure of Snape's snake. That was not good. Snape began sucking on Hermione's boob like a calf sucking on a cow's udder. He slid his hand expertly down to her pot of honey and stroked it. You know, let me tell you, there's a lot of ways to, you know, there's a lot of slang. A lot of ways to refer to a vagina. You know, there's vagina, there's pussy, there's cunt, there's honey pot, there's lips, you know, there's moist cave, I guess. There's a lot of ways, but pot of honey just does not sound good. Maybe it's because I, you know, deep down in my heart, I'll always love Pooh Bear, because when I was a kid, Pooh Bear was my shit. But, you know, you can't ruin pot of honey for me. It just doesn't sound good, but that's just me. He moved his lips and bit small marks on her, like someone eating a bag of potato chips. Hermione moaned like a ghost in a graveyard. You ready to ride the Snape Express? Snape said silkily. Ooh! The Snape Express! Hermione nodded, and Snape entered her like a plow to the earth. Hermione screamed in ecstasy, her cries as loud as a whistling teapot. Snape began pumping into her wildly, as if he were digging for oil. Her pussy was as soft and wet as gillyweed. Snape smelled like the lace wings and snout gilts that he used in his potions. Hermione's face contorted in pleasure like a clown at a birthday party as he continued his ministrations. The potion master was giving her... Jesus Christ. I'm gonna bring back the potion seller meme. The potion master was giving her more pleasure than Hermione had ever experienced. I'm going into the bedroom and I need your strongest potions, please. Her eyes became clear as she orgasmed with enough liquid to fill a pensive. Snape groaned as he finished, shooting into her like a muggle water gun. What happened? Hermione asked, moving from underneath Snape. Apparently, I've broken the control of the hat had over you, Snape said arrogantly. Meanwhile, the hat was enjoying Ginny's sexual favors. Ginny's. He finished and lit a cigar. Look, babe, that was great, but I'm not a commitment type of hat. Besides, I'm seeing Hermione. What do you need her for? Ginny spoke suggestively. She leaned down to give the hat head. Dumbledore, Harry, and Ron sat in Dumbledore's office. Well, it seems everything's worked out for the best. Dumbledore was once again eating jelly beans. Ha ha ha, Dumbledore, your hat's a rapist. Ha, yeah, everyone got shagged but me. I mean, and Harry and Dumbledore. Basically, everybody... You know, everybody in the room right there didn't. Dumbledore looked at Ron, considering. Harry, why don't you leave me and Ron alone for a minute? Harry, confused, walked out of the office. He stood by the door listening and heard heavy panting. Well, I guess everyone's been shagged now but me. Snape leaned against the wall. Potter, come to the dungeons for detention. Harry smiled a little skip as he followed the potion master, a little skip in his step. Everybody had sex. That's amazing. Ooh, jeez. What do you guys think of this one? You know, I'm gonna be honest, I thought this was probably one of the most enjoyable ones I've read so far. You know, this one was honestly hilarious. Very, very good. That was a really good one. You know, there's some times where some of the stories aren't that great because it's obvious that, you know, the later chapters are where it's at. But this was obviously written as a one chapter story, and because of that, I think it's a lot more amusing. It is very funny. A genuinely good time. Wow, 2010, Jesus Christ. I guess Ginny was they were probably a lot younger in 2010, right? When did the Harry Potter movies start? I don't even know, but Jesus. This is fucking good shit. You guys have a good time? I hope so. That was honestly pretty fantastic. I hope, you know, I'll have to read another one of these. This author, they know what's up. Haha. Haha, Harry Pulp. Let's see. Hermione and Hagrid. Oh geez. An orgy at Hogwarts. They have a lot of Harry Potter here. Actually, I think everything here is Harry Potter. Nope, that's Hunger Games. Hunger Games, 50 Shades. Yeah, most things here are Harry Potter. Like 70% of that. Jesus. Thank you, Dingo, and thank you, Tony. Thank all of you guys for being here. You know, the internet didn't seem too bad. Normally, I actually don't stream games while I'm here on the campus because the internet is bad. But, you know, honestly, it seemed pretty passable today. Maybe we'll do some throwaway game streams after this. But I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next stream.